You have now arrived at Stadium and Gale.
The snap, the kick, it's been blocked again! Oh my! It's been blocked again! He's going to heave one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be caught! It's a touchdown! And the Gators have won the game! Tyreek Cleveland! Oh my! I can't believe what I just saw! Dropping back to throw, pops and fires the ball over the middle. It's Tyrie! It's Tyrie! Got a touchdown! Tyrie's got a touchdown! Oh my! Tyrie's got a touchdown!
Hands it off to Harmon. He comes back. Say goodbye.
Ahmad Black, in his final game as a Gator, takes it all the way home and sends Urban out a winner.
You have now arrived at Stadium and Gale.
Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Stadium Miguel. It's your boy Corey.
It's Dan.
And your boy Jay Scott. What it do, y'all boys?
What's going on, brother? It's good to see you guys. I missed you. Nick will be here shortly, but missed you guys. Last week was our first week never recording in a week in almost 6 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It
Nick is on CP time.
Yeah, he is. Big CP time right about that.
Big CP time, man. I had a good weekend. We're gonna talk about spring football. We're gonna talk about national championship basketball since we was out last week. Had a little hiatus, but it should be a fun show. How was the Masters this weekend, my boy?
Oh man, it was great. So it had a hell of a week. I got to go see one of my favorite DJ groups last Saturday. We were bumped up to a stage side table, so that was pretty cool. And then Gators won the national championship Monday, drove up to Augusta Tuesday, was out there Wednesday, and it's unbelievable. Weather was perfect. Everybody was very nice. The course is in immaculate shape. Got to meet a few of the players, and then got to meet Condoleezza Rice, actually, which was a little bit of a surprise. She was the marshal on the hole that we were watching for the par 3 challenge, made ESPN a couple times for that. And then I flew to Mexico on Thursday morning.
Nice.
So I was in Mexico until yesterday. So a hell of a week. So going to spend this week recovering on that one. So, unbelievable time. Sad I missed the game, though.
It'd been crazy to went out to Mexico and then some tariffs would have hit traveling or something, like some crazy tariff.
I'm glad they didn't this time. You know what I mean?
Man, that looks solid, man. I seen the pictures and the videos of you and Nick both flexing out there. It looked like a good time. Nick had a hell of a week as well. He's not here, but he did Final Four and also the Masters. So y'all boys got some bucket list stuff off this weekend, man.
We sure did. No, it was an incredible weekend. And I tell people all the time, like, everybody told me this before I went, and I'm just going to say it again. Like, you just can't put it into words what the course looks like. Just the absolute precision that they run, not only that golf course but that entire tournament. The amount of money that gets spent by we'll follow their terminology, by the patrons that are there, but just how quickly everything moves, how clean everything is. So just an unbelievable experience. I said yesterday, this was Rory McIlroy's 17th time playing in the Masters, and he finally won. And this was his 17th year. I tried to get tickets in the lottery and finally won. So really cool experience. Hopefully I can make it back out again. I just need to know people like Nick that throw them 3 free tickets the night before.
No, that's fire. It ain't what you know, it's who you know, bro. That's what they say, right?
And then who knows you, right? Who's going to think of me? Little old me when they're giving away their free tickets. So. But enough about
thinking of me in golf and whatnot, bro. Anybody out there that want to give away some Masters tickets next year, I definitely would take them. I don't know a whole lot about golf. It's not my bag. I play here and there. Don't follow it. I'm a casual. I'm one of those fans that you just get hyped when it was a Tiger Sunday. That's me. That's when I tune in when Tiger on the hunt. Tiger been out the game. I don't really watch like that. I'm just keeping it being.
Yeah, this was probably the best year to watch the Masters in a long time. You had 2 big names that don't like each other in the sport paired up, and you watched a big collapse, a surprising collapse by Bryson, and then Rory was on the verge of collapsing. He had it with a 1-stroke lead with 2 holes left. He misses a putt on 17 and 18. It goes to a playoff, and you kind of wonder, is that it? And then he hits 2 unbelievable shots to secure his first ever victory at the Masters, which is only the 5th time a golfer ever has won all 4 major golf tournaments. So really cool, just experience for him, but fantastic golf if you're in it. But I completely understand why, if you're not into it, why you wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. You go. Tell me about your weekend. I know, Corey, you were up in Gainesville.
Yeah, I actually went to the spring game, had a blast. I had a good time. Everybody that was out there, the vibes in Gainesville is crazy right now. We're fresh off the Natty in basketball, and then football. The expectations are high this fall. We got a good roster. So the tailgate scene was love. Every corner we turned, it was just love. Everybody giving the podcast love. Ran into the High Top guys. Did a little podcasting on at their tailgate. Of course, Stephen Harris. I ran into Chris Rainey, who's always a riot and a good time. So Tim Casey. It was just everybody on the scene, man. Had a good time hanging out. And then we'll speak about the game. I left Gainesville feeling good as well. Feeling like, we got us a stick this year. You feel me? But good times.
Yeah, I don't want to bore y'all too much with my dad weekend, but I ain't had much going on. I wanted to make it to the spring game, but I just got off the road that Thursday, and I wasn't trying to ride with them young ones, man. I got a 4 and a 1-year-old. Y'all don't want a 4-hour car ride with that age. I love my Gators from afar, but I'm going to definitely come catch a game this year, though. That's what I got to do.
Shout out to my guy, Brandon. It was a lot of unblocking negotiations going on out there at the tailgate, man. I forgot how many people I blocked on that spree at one point.
Energy changes when they meet you in real life, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just good vibes, man. Shout out to the High Top guys. Even Dave Waters. Me and Dave Waters had a talk, man. Good. I know that was Twitter podcast beef at one point in time, but he reached out to me via phone call beforehand. I didn't know it was his phone number, so I didn't answer. But we got a chance to chat at the tailgate. Just good vibes from everybody out there. Shout out to everybody, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Well, let's get into what we missed last week and why we didn't do a show last week, the Gators National Championship. Before we do that, Corey, why don't you do a quick Brunt ad read, and then we'll get on with the show.
One time for the great folks at Brunt Insurance and Financial Services. Anything you need insured in the Southeast, most importantly, Florida, from the Panhandle to the Keys. My man Greg got you. 954-589-2204. Home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, other financial services that come with insurance carriers. He does it all. He's been insuring my home for well over 6-7 years. I lost count. Great customer service. You're not going to get these 1-800 or these call centers in Thailand. Put tariffs on call centers in Thailand, man. But 954-589-2204 or bruntinsurance.com. It don't cost nothing to get a free quote. I'm sure he can save you some money. Nick, what's up?
Nick is here.
Headphones working.
Hey, y'all smash that like button as well, man. Don't cost nothing to show love. Smash that like button. Fragrance Journey, I see you down there. Smash, like, comment, engage with us. Let's hang out.
Absolutely. So we did not perform an episode, like I said at the beginning of the show, for the first time in 6 years during 1 week, and we were trying to figure out what would make the most sense. Do we do a live stream? Do we do something beforehand? If we put the episode out on Tuesday, is it out of date? Obviously, we weren't going to do something after that. After the game, just a little too late for everybody. But the Gators do win their 3rd ever basketball national championship. You guys all know that, 65-63. Another unbelievable comeback for the Gators in the second half, solidified by an unbelievable performance by Will Richard. Some great defense in the second half. Got shooting the ball a bit in the second half with Walter Clayton, but just an overall top-to-bottom team effort. That's the 4th time the Gators came back from a sizable enough deficit during the national championship run to secure the 3rd national championship in their school's history, the first under Todd Golden, and are now the only school in the entire world, I guess you could say, in both college basketball and college football. So congratulations to friend of the program, Todd Golden. What'd you guys think of not only the game, just the run itself that the Gators had over the last 3 weeks?
Crazy. It felt like playoff mode since the SEC tournament started. You know, we was having a conversation on here about should they probably lose a game? How important is the SEC tournament when you're trying to make a run, trying to get healthy with Condon and his ankle? But they just been in playoff mode, went on a crazy streak, win the SEC tournament, and I still don't think they ever hit their peak. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah, didn't really ever put together a complete game. There was times and certainly halves. I guess the Norfolk State game was the closest that they had to that, but won in a lot of different ways, including beating Houston at their own game. A weird called second half by the referees. So I think the NCAA has got to do a better job about figuring out what's going on with the referees this season. But Jordan, what are your thoughts on the game, brother? The entire run.
Entire run itself. I felt like just watching all the games, I felt like we always did start slow. Like maybe if you went to go check the records, like the first half, Florida has never really won too many first halves as far as covering the spread wise or just winning outright at the first half. So I was definitely just always crossing my fingers in hopes that we'll have that second half run like we always did, and the boys always pulled through, man. And as far as the Natty went, I kind of always had hope. It was times where I was kind of like, damn, came all the way here and was about to lose. But something in me was like, Walter Clayton ain't go off yet, and we really haven't went on like a run yet, like a nice run. Like you can at least guarantee we're gonna get one run a game, like 8-0, 10-2 run, something like that. Like I feel like we ain't going one of those all game. It's been turnovers. We was kind of taking the entire shot clock to score a bucket. Like I was like, man, this not us. We could play better ball than this. And them boys messed around and turned the page, man, and did what they were supposed to do. So proud of those boys, man.
Yeah, when they were struggling like that, they found a way to keep it close. Like we would have a terrible first half, and we down by 3. I'm like, bro, we haven't even played our best ball.
Turnovers, we taking an entire shot clock. Our best player got 2 points, and we're down by 4 points. Like I'm straight with that. I mean, I ain't saying that I'm happy that we losing, but it should be at least 15.
yeah, straight up.
Nick, you were out there.
It was, it was that was really cool. There's you get kind of like desensitized. Like I've been on the field of the Swamp. So we had our meet and greet Saturday, and people were like so excited just to be on the field. Like Jordan, you've probably been on that field 200 times. You forget how cool it is to be on Ben Hill. But like I'm on the Final Four court, and I'm like talking to the players and talking to Elijah's mom and Wilt's mom because we did the interviews with them around senior day. And then like it hit me. I'm like, you're standing on the Final Four court in San Antonio, Texas. Like, yo, this job is dope. It's like one of those moments where like it hits you and you like for a second you snap out of like working. You're like, well, look where you are. Yeah. That was really cool. But it wasn't even just like this run. Like they won 12 in a row. They won 18 of the last 19. Shout out to Blanco and his early
No, we're not shouting him out. We stopped that.
No, it's not that type of show.
He's not that type of show.
Those days are in our past, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But rallying from a 12-point deficit against Houston, I saw somebody made that shirt, the ESPN projected wins.
Yeah.
And that thing looks like, like a New York skyline. All of a sudden. And then all of a sudden it's back down and Florida wins. I think Florida led for minute 4 of the game.
Yeah.
And until 40-something seconds left, had led 14 seconds of the game. But you know what? They don't know who led the first 499 laps of the Daytona 500, Dan. They only remember who led the last lap.
That's right.
It was interesting because they had to keep coming back from so many games, but just sitting there, like, the text groups are like, good season, guys. It's been a great run.
Yeah.
Fun. And I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, they're going to figure it out. Like, that's just what they do. Kind of like what Jordan was saying, like the first half of games, this whole run, they're like, that's bad. I'm just like sitting there, even down 12 against Houston. I'm like, this is just a couple stops and a couple Walt threes, a couple Will threes. They'll figure it out. At no point, even down 9 against Auburn, and I'm sitting courtside, and I'm like, oh, well, this one's over. Short trip to San Antonio. Just a special team. I think it's they played with that underdog mentality, and all these guys started somewhere else. Isaiah Brown's the only 4-star on the team, and he played, I think, 61 minutes, 71 minutes all year.
Yeah.
Had no idea Walter Clayton would be the player and the shooter that he was. Thought he was good, but he might have cemented himself as the best basketball player at the University of Florida in its entire history. And then he goes 0 for 6 to start in the national championship, and you're thinking, okay, this isn't good. But Will Richard shows up. Tommy Hawk shows up later. Houck shows up later in the game, and there was just always an answer. And I think Walt said it after the game. It didn't matter if Will had a bad game, somebody else would pick him up. It didn't matter if I had a bad game, somebody else would pick him up. So that was really cool. I think that underdog mentality and kind of like the brotherhood that these guys had, they just never got worried because they knew if it wasn't my night, somebody else would figure it out. Somebody else would have their night and pick whoever was struggling up. Alex Condon, ever since getting hurt in the SEC tournament, or I guess it was against Maryland, he got hurt. Playing at 70%, didn't play his best all throughout the tournament. That's the guy you needed to play well. So just the ultimate team win. And what a run. These last
I would say team season, right? I mean, I think we talked about it with Eric and Neil throughout the season, right? That this was a team that, not only was underdogs, but a team that really played like a team. I think they had 6 or 7 players this season lead the team in scoring. It was always a team affair. And when somebody wasn't, maybe at their best, somebody else was stepping up, or if somebody got injured, somebody else stepped up. So just a fantastic performance. I don't think anybody, including Todd Golden, before the season started, thought that the Gators were going to go and make a run like they did this season. I think that he was confident in the players that he recruited, but I don't think that he was, confident they would compete for a national championship. And, this was one of my favorite national championship runs to watch, just because it was so unexpected. And you just saw the team, start off the season undefeated. You have a tough loss against Kentucky, first game of the SEC season, and you kind of wonder, did they, are they good, not great? And then, you go down against UConn, you go down against Texas Tech, you go down against Auburn, and the team continued to fight back. And not just one player, certainly Walter Clayton is, now one of the highest scoring players in a tournament history, but there was always somebody else there to step up or take the load off. And, when you look at this team, it truly was a team that won. And you get an All-American on that team, but it's not like you have one dominant top 5 lottery pick on this team, or a team of multiple 5 stars, or a team of one and dones that just happened to click at the right time. It was it's made up of a lot of people that Washington State and Belmont and Iona and FAU. It's just really, really cool to watch, and super proud for those guys. And, I think I stayed up until 1:30, 1:45, just scrolling the internet, just watching everybody celebrate this team. It was really cool.
I tried to. I dozed off. I was smashing like on everything I seen, man. The celebration was fire as well on Saturday. I wanted a bigger celebration, but we're not gonna beat that drum, that dead horse. But I thought
wasn't enough.
I wanted to climb a pole too, bro. Pause. Pause.
That's gonna be the title of the show. Corey wanted to climb a pole.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, I wanted a parade.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was gonna be a parade. So maybe it's one coming up.
Yeah,
I don't think they've never done a parade, so I wasn't surprised. I think fans are just finding reasons to, change the narrative or change expectations. They've never had a parade before.
Well, we can start.
I'm not saying that that's wrong. Yeah, and I mean you could always start, but
we never used to sing Tom Petty either, right?
That's right.
New traditions, man. That's what it's all about. Should have gave us a parade, man. You got a first-time All-American, first team All-American. We're not gonna beat that dead horse, but I thought Saturday was good. It was funny. Ty Golden came out, did his thing. I thought his speech was good. I see how he recruits well. He got a young energy about himself. He's young, but he's definitely got a young swagger. That boy Strickland came out, the whole stadium booed.
That's crazy.
He can't do much to win the fans over. I think it's kind of a lost cause at this point. We've got people on Twitter writing exposés about why they hate Scott Strickland. I'm like, You guys have hated him before any of these reasons that you just listed, right? You want a team to win a national championship, and you're just not going to like him. You know what I mean? It's just is what it is.
Yeah, I was testing it out because sometimes things are just a Twitter thing, right? So I'm thinking like maybe the hate for Strickland is just a Twitter thing, but when they said his name and it was a strong boo. It was strong.
They said Scott's name so that he could announce the national champion basketball team. His purpose of being on the microphone and being there was to introduce the national champions. And the stadium booed. I'm standing next to Todd's wife, and I'm around like this coaching staff's wife down the field, and they turn around and they're like, what the hell's wrong with these people? And I'm like, I don't know, man.
That's it. That's just a fan base. When you win national championships, you'll get cheered, be the AD, you know.
I'm standing around the wives of the coaching staff. We're like right at the 50. We're watching everything happen. And they literally turned around and they're like, are they serious? I'm like, yeah. I tweeted a picture of Scott 45 minutes after the buzzer with his piece of the net and his national championship hat, and people were still being like,
ratio.
I don't want to give him credit for this. And I'm like, my guy, have a drink. Have a drink and enjoy your team winning. Don't get mad about the athletic director who hired the coach who just won the national championship. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know if ADs are ever going to get credit for what they do, right? Like I think of Urban Meyer, right, or Steve Spurrier, right? Like it's like, oh, he was just hired because he played at Florida, and Urban Meyer got hired because
Bernie Machin. It wasn't because Bernie Machin
convinced him, right? And then Todd Golden was only hired because Billy Donovan referred him. It's like, you can't take all the L's and then not give any of the wins either. I mean, there's still negotiation. They can still leave, but it doesn't necessarily change in the fans' mind. It's not a basher or praise Scott Strickland show. I got to congratulate the team, and hopefully the Gators have proven that they can be a perennial basketball powerhouse. For a long time, we were told that fans were being unrealistic or we were toxic. I remember Mike Bianchi saying that we should be appreciative that we had the Mike Blanco days, and that Florida fans were just being unrealistic. But while true, it also shows that there is a little bit of truth that Florida can win a national championship in basketball.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they put out the stats they put out, since this century. We've just been that team. A lot of those championships. All you Gator fans that cheer for teams in the Carolinas. A lot of that jury's dusty. A lot of those stones, they ain't got the clarity of ours that's been since the 2000s and whatnot.
They got those much smaller championship rings,
Yeah, they weren't doing BBSs and those type of diamonds. The boys was getting them princess cuts. Princess cut, clarity. Cloudy. No clarity. All this jury is like Johnny Dane Crisp, man, over here in Gainesville, man. So y'all could leave the Carolinas and come on back down to Gainesville and cheer for basketball. Respect your closet. I know your closet look crazy with powder blue, devil stuff.
Got Warriors jersey somewhere in there.
Yeah. Got the
Yankee hat.
Yeah, the Yankees hat. Yeah, the old Dallas Cowboys stuff or the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's people you'll see on Twitter. I'm like, what geographic world did you come from for you to root on some of these teams? But
military kids, man.
Patriots, Cowboys, Chiefs fan, huh?
That's interesting.
Okay, cool.
Oh man, I love it. But so the Gator boys stayed hot. They did it. Congratulations to everybody on the team. We do have obviously a couple guys leaving for the NBA draft, those graduating seniors. Alex Condon did put his name into the opportunity to get looked at for the draft. I don't think he hired an agent. There is a chance for him to come back. I'd be curious to see, what kind of draft grade he gets. I think 6 weeks ago and today, I think it might have changed a little bit, but I also know that the NBA is a big fan of projection and not necessarily just where, what did you do for me lately? So definitely an interest in watching him. I think he could be a big part of this roster as well. The Gators did have a player enter the transfer portal today. He is a sophomore, Cages Kubalax. He played for the Gators very sparingly over the last couple seasons. I think he played, 13 games over the last 2 seasons. He's going to enter originally one of the Lithuanian guys that Todd Golden brought over a couple of years ago. So he's going to be entering the transfer portal. The Gators are going to be hosting Princeton guard transfer Xavier Lee tomorrow. So that is a hot name in the portal. And so we'll hopefully find out a little bit more over the next few days. The Gators will have a lot of retooling to do for this roster, and then obviously bring in a pretty good recruiting class.
Yeah, we got a bag now. Condon drop a bag to the basketball team, so I think we can afford them.
But even the basketball numbers are insane.
I heard there's like a 3 for this Lee kid. I mean, I'm not putting conjecture out there, but I'm hearing there's a 3.
Need a market correction. No, there was like some kid who like was signed. I can't remember if the school's wrong, but it was like signed to BYU or something, and like had a number that he signed for, and they got a bigger number and was like, see you guys, I'm gonna go over here. It's like you signed the financial aid agreement. Like, the ink is dry. And he's like, yeah, well, sorry, bye. But I feel good. I feel good about Condon. They have agents. They already have agents. Like they're allowed to have agents to go when they go and do this. I think it's good for him. I think his feedback will probably be, hey, you need to get bigger, stronger. We need you to be able to play down in the post. So him and then Thomas Houck, I think those are the 2 guys that probably can and should test the waters, but I think right now I expect both of them to be back. You just got to figure out the backcourt. You're losing an all-timer in Walt Clayton. You're losing Elijah Martin, who I think when he came, I think the run he made with FAU kind of like earned him the respect of the guys. But he came in and he immediately made this team tougher. And then Will Richard, the first guy that ever committed to Todd Golden and his staff, like those are 3 massive shoes to fill. You're not going to be able to fill them exactly. You just got to find other guys who can score and handle the ball and do the things that those guys did. But big time transfer portal stuff there. And you've got two really good freshmen also signed to the class. One of them being CJ Ingram.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to pause basketball talk. We might pick it back up. If not, congratulations to the Gators basketball program. We do want to welcome a special guest, but before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Game Time Sidekicks. If you want a really cool mug like this Gator Boys one, I think we all got some shipments from the boys over there over the last couple days. So go visit Game Time Sidekicks. They got the national champions cups. They got the Gator Boys. They've got baseball, basketball, football, whatever you might need. Go visit GameTimeSidekicks.com. Use promo code STADIUM15 to check out. You get 15% off of your order. And with that, we want to welcome one of the Gators' best wide receivers over the last decade or so, including catching an iconic Hail Mary. That is actually part of the introduction of this show. With that, we welcome former Florida Gators and NFL wide receiver Tyreek Cleveland to the show. Tyrie, welcome.
Yo. How y'all doing, man? How everything going?
Good to see you. It was good to see you on social media back in the 8-9 with the helmet on.
Oh yeah,
looking like old times back in the Ville.
I had to do that, man. I had to do that for the coach.
The play exclusives all in all. You were ready to go.
I had a showing that I still got those.
I'm surprised UFA hit you up for a cease and desist. Like, hey, how did boy get all that equipment out there, man?
I had a lot of people hit me up like, let me get those. You still got them? Like, yeah, I still got them. I cherish things like that because that's a special thing right there. So I try to cherish those things right there.
No, that's 100%. Funny because every time football players, basketball players walk off the field, it's let me get those gloves, let me get your towel, let me get your helmet. Hey, let me get your entire uniform. And it's like, yo, chill. So you wear the uniform and they're like, oh shoot, let me holler at Tyrie. Hey, let me get that jersey now. It never stops.
For sure.
Tyrie, we always like to start whenever we bring a former player on. Talk to us a little bit about you coming to the University of Florida.
Man, like I said, I'm a Florida boy. I played high school ball in Texas, so when I got that offer for University of Florida, it was no brainer. So also my friend Rick Wells, he got the offer too. So once I seen that he had the offer, then it was a no brainer. I was going back. I was going to the swamp. I grew up watching Person Harvin, Tim Tebow, Murphy, all those guys. Man, so my time at Florida, bro, it was great.
You was from Jacksonville with Rick as well. Like that's where you kind of stayed at when you was in Florida. Or what part of Florida you in for a certain amount of time?
I grew up on the east side of Florida, Jacksonville. Rick, he was on the north side, but we met in elementary, so we've been close friends ever since elementary.
Oh yeah, I mean, our boys did get to school. Y'all boys was like brothers, but yeah, I couldn't see one without the other.
For sure.
You had no strong pull from Texas. I know Texas is a rich football state, so that there was no strong pull from the big 3 or 4 programs that's out there.
I had Texas wasn't really messing with me. I was surprised they wouldn't even recruit me heavy. I had a guy like Oklahoma, TCU was recruiting me heavy, Houston, Texas A&M, but Texas they wasn't showing no interest. I don't know why.
They weren't really winning football games either.
Definitely that boy coming out of high school. I remember me and Callaway used to mess with each other, like they show like the recruits coming in and stuff like that. Like who you gonna host with? We used to always message you that, man. That boy finna take your shit, ready to take your spot, bro. Like, like that. So when you came on one day, they were showing your highlights and stuff. I said, all right, boy, you see you bad, boy. You finna take your shit. You better stop playing.
It's crazy. Callaway hosted me, man. I had a great time, man. So he showed me a good time, man. He was a very stand-up guy, man. One of the best guys I ever played with, as far as position, skill, man. He's unbelievable.
He definitely unbelievable. That boy, dog.
His people called him AD, didn't they? They called him like all day.
Yeah.
AD. I remember that someone was like, "Oh, AD." I'm like, his name's Antonio Callaway. Where are you getting the D from? And I think it was like it was an old coach or an uncle or something told me, no, we called him all day. We call him AD. And I'm like, okay.
What was that official visit like, man? Like you pull up Callaway, like what y'all go do, man? No, you gotta give me all the details, but give me all the details.
Man, just hanging out with a guy. He just showing me like the culture, like things to do on campus, as far as just it was 2 parts of, like, you got the daytime, you got the nighttime.
Right.
The daytime was just chopping it up. I'm asking him a question. He responded to me with answers. I'll ask him like how I feel to like actually be like playing at Florida. Like I'll ask him stuff like that, like far as like what it took to get here and stuff like that. Because I'm a freshman, like I don't, I'm for to come to college, so I'll ask him like certain stuff like how you handle this, how you handle that, and stuff like that. So man, he was one of the reasons I committed to Florida. 'Cause I felt like he wasn't trying to hold out or hold back. He was just giving me all the answers. So I feel like, yeah, it's a family over here. So that's
he was still in the dorms around that time, right? I wonder who his roommates was.
Was he in the dorm? I think he was in the dorm. He probably been off campus. I want to say he was off campus at that time.
Yeah.
Not to throw it in your guys' faces, but the freshmen come in now and they're immediately off campus. They're in Midtown. Their apartments are right above Cantina, which is where the swamp used to be. It is boy, times have changed. Times have changed. There's no more keys. You're not in a cement prison anymore across from the baseball field.
They got it good, man.
They got it real good now. I don't know if they know how good they got it.
They got it good, bro. I'm happy for them though. I'm definitely happy for them.
Billy makes them go when they start summer ball and fall ball. They have to go stay in the dorm, so they get a little like a weak taste of it. But different, having to do it just for camp is different than
having to live
back there, getting back from a road game and having to go back and coach right back to the Keys, not having the pool on the roof.
Yeah, them boys got it good over there. Now, I went on the campus the other day. Them boys got a little pool at the facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cabanas. I say, what is this even for? Does anybody get in the water? Like, what are we doing?
Hey, they had a studio. Like, they had a studio. They had Billy was like, what the hell Dan Mullen doing with the studio? They took the studio out of there, but they had a studio in there joining.
That's crazy. Them boys.
We lose Cleve.
Had about 15 massage chairs all through the facility. Maybe he getting phone
nice.
Yeah, they got hella massage chairs. I'm like, man, go ahead, forget the tour. Let me sit down for like 5 minutes and enjoy this.
At your age now, sitting down for 5 minutes in one of those chairs turns into a 45-minute nap.
I'm trying to tell you, but them boys blessed, man. Them boys got it made over there.
Hey, Tyrie, I got a question for you, man. What was going down the day of the infamous BB gun extravaganza? What was happening?
Man, to tell y'all the truth, man, it was just kids having fun. We were just, having fun. And the crazy thing about it, we didn't even know we broke the window. After we got done playing, we just went up to the dorms, chill, play a game, end up went to sleep and stuff like that. And somehow, like that early morning, it was like 5 in the morning. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, police, like. Man, it was crazy, man. It definitely a learning experience because I feel as though when freshmen come in, there's so much going on, so much distractions, and what I tell somebody, man, just be mindful of the things you do. Just because even though you're trying to have fun, like it's easy to get in trouble. So it definitely was a learning experience for me and made me wake up for real.
Yeah, definitely. I
remember I told when Ant got pulled over for his speeding thing. I remember I told him, like, dude, I've gotten pulled over doing 25 miles an hour over. No one cares because I don't play at the University of Florida. And I think that's a lesson you learn is like, if I were still in high school and did this, nobody would care. But now, because I'm a Florida Gator, it's on Jacksonville News, it's on Gainesville Sun, it's on all the message boards. And that's kind of a hard way to learn that, like, okay, I'm on a different stage now. People are looking at me and everything I do under a microscope.
For sure. So that just it come with it though. When you got a full ride, when you come to the University of Florida, you got a lot of eyes on you, so it come with it. And I was just happy for the opportunity just to still be at Florida and not get kicked off and go back home. So I was very, very grateful just to learn for that situation and move on with my career at Florida.
Now, is that why you ended up in 89 the whole time you were here? Because I know when you first got here, you were trying to get down to a little smaller number. Was that part of the reason you ended up staying at 89?
That was the reason. But I also I got an offer back. The next year they said you can get number 2, and at that time I was like, man, I'm already comfortable in this. I'm already just keep 89, just rock out with it. But they did offer the number back, but I was just I'll just keep 89.
You had 2 for a little bit.
Yeah, I did have 2 for a little bit, but once that incident happened, there's consequences. So I just got to take that to the chin.
That's crazy. The consequences adding 87 numbers to your jersey.
Hey, buddy, it's crazy because I never would like 80 number every time I played. Never been 80.
You made it look good and shit. Now you can say it's a lot of 2s that was at Florida who was balling. So now you the 89 that was balling at Florida. You made a better stat for yourself.
That's I forgot there's a tight end over there that got 89 now. I like his game.
Yeah, for sure you do.
I don't know his name. I don't know his name.
Is that Hansen?
That's his name?
Hayden Hansen.
Yeah, Hayden Hansen.
I like him.
He's from Texas. He's from Texas. He is he's like 6. He's a legitimate like 6'7". He's a big dude.
Yeah, I like him.
He scored at the spring game, man.
Yeah, I think
how was
hey, who threw that?
Oh boy.
Don't go there.
Yeah, you see, we'll cook him later.
We'll talk about it later, Nick. We don't need to distract Tyrie from your nonsense.
Yes.
Hey, Tyrie, what was Chauncey Gardner like? And you guys came in the same recruiting class, and just from that standpoint, watching him come up as a recruit, and then being on the same team as him, he's a big personality. What was he like from your perspective?
Man, Chauncey is a go-getter, man. He gonna work, but he also gonna talk. He gonna talk while he work. But one thing about him, one thing I respect about him, he might talk a lot of smack, but he gonna back it up. And he gonna work. He gonna grind. He just a guy that like to talk. Like I tell people, like that's just his personality. He like to talk. He like to have fun. He like to get at it. But man, Chauncey a great guy, man. Shout out to him. He won the Super Bowl too. So man. We our relationship go way back. You know, we played the Under game, went to the Open and stuff like that. So our connection go way back, man. So Chauncey definitely a great guy. Can't wait to see what he do at Houston though, for sure.
Who the better trash talker, Chauncey or Felipe Franks?
Chauncey.
Chauncey for sure. Yeah, Chauncey for sure.
Chauncey talked trash to me. They were doing the circle drill, you know, and it's like, hey, circle up, and they let the media in to watch it like once or twice. So I'm in there, I'm just filming reps, and all I'm doing is putting the clip out, someone versus someone, name versus name, no commentary to it. And Chauncey lost a rep, and because he lost a rep, it blows up on Twitter. The next time we come, we do a circle drill. He wins. I wasn't filming it. He runs out after his rep. Where's Nick Delatorre at? And I'm like, right here. That one on camera. And I'm like, man, my bad, bro. But like,
classic hater though.
I talked to Chauncey like right before 2 years ago, right before, and there was no bad blood about it. That's just Chauncey. It didn't matter if you were a teammate, coach, if you were a booster on the sideline walking. If he had something to say to you, he was going to say it.
Yeah.
So Tyrie, man, speak to me a little bit. I know everybody kind of want to know about your famous catch, man. I know you saw Callaway catch the year prior. I know you never thought that it'll be you back in that situation like that again. But as a receiver, I know you thought about it like, damn, if I had an opportunity like that, I would snap. You feel me? So just take us through it a little bit, how it went down, your emotions after the game, all that.
All right, this son I ain't really tell them about it, but like I don't know if free people know, like that whole game, you know, was tight, it was close. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think they went and scored, and then we got a chance to get the ball back. Mm-hmm. So they was going to kick the ball off. Like the whole time with the sideline, I'm walking. I'm telling Kadarius, Tony, I'm telling Rick, I'm like, bro, I'm telling Deontay Lewis, I'm telling him like, bro, I'm finna make a play. Like big time player. This is what I'm saying, walking like I'm just walking up and down side. I'm like, I'm finna make a play. Like big time player made big time plays in big time ball game. I kept saying that like at least 4 times. So probably we get the ball, like the whole play. We ain't even supposed to. That play ain't supposed to happen. We supposed to.
I swear.
That play supposed to. Felipe was supposed to throw the ball to C-Lou like a 15-yard dead, just so we could get a field goal range for Eddie, so he can kick the field goal. We win the game.
Right.
And in the huddle, I told Felipe, I was like, bro, if you don't got it, bro, just throw it. I'm gonna just run. And he's like, all right. He's like, all right, bet. So when I told him that, so when I told him that, I'm like, he probably ain't even gonna do it. I'm like, all right, but I'm gonna just still run. So once the play go on, I see the safety low. I'm like, why the safety low? I see the safety low. I'm like, they tripping. They really disrespecting me. They disrespecting me.
That went too fast.
I'm like, hold on.
You're in the middle of your route going, this is disrespectful. He better find me.
I'm like, hold on. And then the DB low. So I'm like 5-yard cushion. I'm like, bro. So on the ball height, I just start running. And then once I see Felipe break the pocket, I said, oh, yeah, he finna throw it. So I just hit another gear. I hit another gear. I'm like, oh, yeah. Man, no bull cry. I wouldn't lie to y'all. I ain't hear nothing but the ball. I ain't hear nobody. No, nothing. I ain't hear nothing. I just heard the balls.
We're locked in.
And then once it happened, I'm thinking we had more time. So like, I seen a video, I see me up and BP just hit my head. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? Bro, I done won the game.
That might be the hardest you got hit in college ever. BP was smacking you.
Yeah.
BP was, bro, that was crazy, bro. And then I'm just seeing everybody running to me. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm shocked at that point. I'm what's going crazy? And I see everybody jumping, but the power was the worst.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you how that was because everybody just jumped on you. I'm like, man, I hope this guy's not injured.
Bro, the power was the word. I couldn't breathe. I'm telling y'all, get up. I can't breathe. I can't get up. Man, but the hope, man, that catch there was, man, it was. I'm just blessed to have that opportunity just to win a game for the team. You know,
Oh man, lost him.
He'll bounce back. He'll bounce back. There we go.
There he is.
There we go.
y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
What
I hear you.
what route were you supposed to run? Like on the play sheet when the play gets called in, what is your route supposed to be?
Say again.
What was your route supposed to be? Because you said you just told Felipe. You and Felipe went rogue there. Did you have a different route, or you were supposed to run?
Yeah, I had a post.
Okay,
I had a post. I had a post, so the way you saw me run, I'm just like, it wasn't no post. Like I say it was a pile line route. Just run to the goal. Because once I saw the safety, I readjusted my route. I'm just for the run.
Mm-hmm.
So once I get past him, it was over with. But that whole experience, that moment right there, man, it was something great. You know, just for the University of Florida. Now I don't even take credit, like as far as individual, like I don't even take credit because I get that to the team because like that's what players supposed to do, supposed to win game for the team. And I was just happy to be in that position to win a game for my team. So man,
That boy Franks ain't to have that energy though. Franks was going off on the fans.
Oh yeah. Frank was talking. Frank was talking his smack, like he was like, as he should. You feel me though? Because like a lot of people talking about free play like this and that. So I was just happy for him just to be able to show up in that moment in the game right there for us. So man, that was without him, without the online protecting it as they could, without everybody playing their part, man, it would never happen. So man, I'm proud of that moment, proud of the team for real.
What was it like around campus after the catch like that, man?
Bro, you leave your wallet at home. No need.
It was so crazy that after the game, was just, as far as like leading up to that night, it was just like everybody was just showing love. Like prior before that, it was just happy to see everybody just like, even the fans, just everybody just celebrating that moment. And man, the teammates just showed me love. Like everybody, the coaches showed me love. I was just happy to win the game, because you grow up trying to, I'm gonna win the game for you. Grew up like thinking about catching the game, winning a touchdown. Like me growing up being a Florida fan and just watching Tim Tebow and all the game, Person Harv and all them guys, and just seeing myself like catch a game, win a touchdown. Like, it ain't hit me till like after a couple days. Like when it first happened, I was just, my head was everywhere.
What? I ain't mad at you. That's crazy though. My favorite one though, I do see it in the comments. My favorite one of you is LSU, that 99-yarder though. I remember being in that play. I'm running a swing route. I'm like, Austin, what you about to do? Because you about to get sacked. This somebody it's only really like 3 people in the route. Like it was only 2 receivers and they had me on the swing route.
Matt's prep.
Yeah, Matt's protection. I'm like, bro, what you about to do with this route? We almost about to take a safety. Man, that boy took that thing all the way to the crib. On the top, real cornerback too.
See what people,
you had to break a tackle there too. Somebody was on you.
What people don't know about that play was I was really going on. I was telling Nussmeyer, because he was the offensive coordinator around that time. I'm telling Nuss, because we was in the red zone prior for that possession. I think we was in the red zone prior for that possession, and I was telling him, "Coach, throw it." Like I'm like he pressing that line. He can't hold me. Let's throw the ball. So that next possession came. He said, "I hope you're ready." I looked at him. I said, "Bet." I said bet. So I got the huddle. I ain't gonna lie. You know how you ask for the ball and the coach be like, all right, for the give it to you?
Yeah, now you're
nervous. I was nervous as hell.
And you were a freshman, right?
Tripping my coach all game. And he said, all right, it's your time. And you're like, damn.
Hey, I was like, man, I can't mess this up.
And we had LSU too. That's a big.
And we had LSU. Man, that whole play there, man, it was just, I knew I can beat him.
Yeah,
for the outside, but I gave him a little jab inside so he can go move inside. So once I got him to move inside, I knew once I got the outside, I just stacked him. It was over with. And then once I caught the ball, I just feel like something. I just threw him off me. Like,
get out of there, little nigga.
That's what we little weights for.
Hey man, you should have done a couple more reps in the summer.
And I'm glad I didn't. I almost dropped the ball early.
Yeah.
I almost dropped the ball early.
That
That would have been bad, bro. That would have been bad.
real bad.
What did you get?
Brandon Collins just said this. If y'all were in the NIL era, that the heave,
oh
the
yeah,
cleave, those shirts,
crazy.
Those shirts would have been a paycheck.
Hey, I could.
What?
That would have been
good numbers.
Man, the NILs around our time, man.
We would have been killing it.
Oh, UF
would have been running it up. I would say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What were you like a top 4 or 5 receiver coming out that year?
Yeah, I was a 4-star when I went to the Under Armour camp. I thought I was gonna get the 5-star, but they didn't give it to me. So
you was borderline. I think you was
they ain't never give it to me.
Yeah.
They ain't never give me the 5-star, which I wouldn't even tripping on it. I was just trying to show people I can play ball.
Right, for real.
The offense at that time. Oh no, go ahead. Do your thing. Well, the offense during that era was, it was hit or miss one with Nussmeier. I thought some of the schemes and the concepts was like more pro, and he's doing this thing in the NFL. I think he's more successful in the NFL than he was in college. What was the likes and dislikes of that Nussmeier offense for you?
Me personally, I think it was pretty cool. Far as it was a pro style, so like if you got dreams to play at the next level, you want to be in this type of offense. So I think it was a traditional offense. As far as for UF and the players we had, I think we could have been more empty because we had a lot of guys that could play ball.
Yeah, for sure.
And to go out there and make plays. But as far as like the way he ran it, I thought it was good. I was a freshman coming in, so I'm, high school, we just ran a certain route. And the way he broke it down, the way he described certain routes, the concepts and stuff like that, it was more pro. So me being a receiver, I always, I'm trying to get to the next level. So that was part of my commitment to the University of Florida because it was more pro. So that's why I feel as though that offense fit me perfect.
Yeah.
And also there's a more deep threats and he had a lot of deep plays. So
yeah.
Fit me perfect.
Play action.
Play action, go deep. Run, play action, go deep. So basically,
yeah,
it fit my game perfectly. Yeah, I was a speeder, deep threat. You feel me?
And 2 little tight ends, and you got 2 good receivers that can play either slot or outside. But really, you just outside. It's a single receiver, so it always works out in his favor. But my last question. Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'm gonna kind of wrap it up. So
how much are you able to? You've been in the league now for a long time. Listen, NFL stands not for long, but not for Tyrie. You've been in the league for a while now. How much can you follow the Gators? I know you're probably traveling, doing stuff, walkthroughs on Saturdays. How much are you able to watch and follow the football team? Obviously, we saw you following the basketball team this year, but how much are you able to kind of tap in and follow the team?
Last year I had a chance to watch them more because I was free agent last year, just trying to find a new home and stuff like that. And now I feel as though I'd be able to watch them more because I'm y'all probably be the first one to know. I'll probably come back to school to finish this degree. And everybody who watches. So I think I'd be in tune with Florida a lot this year.
And that wide receiver room is nasty, man. Go over there and help them out, bro. That wide receiver room is nasty.
And that's why it's crazy. I got on the phone with Billy G just to let him know, like he don't even know, like I'm debating to come back and just finish the class. I got like three classes left, and why not do it now? While I'm still want to do it. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel I'd be. To answer your question, how much time did I watch the Gators? I always watch the Gators. Like I do my little routine, my little treatment, try to catch them games, trying to get on it. Everybody for some reason, like we get to the league, everybody don't like Florida. Like really? they don't like Florida. Like I don't know why. Like
everybody hating.
Everybody hating on us. Like what we do to y'all? But like I always watch the Florida, man. I'm a big fan of DJ Lagway, man. I feel like he gonna be the one, not him individual, but as a team. It starts with a quarterback. If you don't have no quarterback, then it's gonna be hard for you to win games. So I mean, just being a fan of him, Billy Napier as well. Like, I feel as though Billy Napier is the guy, and like I heard the news, it's fired Billy Napier. Like I played at Florida, I feel as though like Scott Springer, Scott doing a great job as finding the new head coach at Billy Napier because I feel as though he come from that Alabama, that tradition like winning. So I feel as though block out all the noise, like as far as fire him, fire this. I feel as though he's doing a good job at building the program, like from bottom to top, like bringing that culture back of winning football, like and not even winning is discipline. Like if one got discipline, then you ain't gonna win no game. I feel like he's a good coach as far as showing the guy like it's gonna take discipline to win. It's gonna take fight. It's gonna take grit. So man, I think personally, I told everybody. We won the basketball. We finna go win the football. I'm telling people right. It's April right now. I'm telling people. Look, it's April right now. I'm telling people we gonna win. We gonna win in that championship. A lot of people in the comments might be talking crazy. We gonna win in that championship.
Nah, we lying, dog. I don't know what you talking about. We in our bag, bro.
One game just came out, yeah.
Hey, we gonna win in that championship, man. The defense, I ain't really looking on the defense side of the ball, but I feel like we got some good linebackers. I like the cornerback over there. What's his name? McCain.
McClain.
McClain. I like him. I even like Banks. Banks nice too.
Had a solid spring game, bro.
Banks nice. Who else I like over there in the defensive box?
Over there.
Aaron Childs. I can't wait to talk about Aaron Childs when we talk about spring football. That's a man child, bro. Like,
man,
got some guys.
And the whole offensive line coming back except for one. So I mean, and then we got 2 stud running backs. Like, hey, with the receiver room, but why can't we win it?
Thank you. That's how I feel. What are we missing? Nothing.
What we missing? We ain't really missing nothing.
What? Straight up, man.
Yeah,
we ain't really missing nothing, bro. And I tell people, I'm sorry to cut y'all off. I told people, if DJ Ladway didn't get hurt, Georgia would have beat Georgia and Texas and Ole Miss. Would have beat everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For sure.
You got Q and T's back here. I see those boys at practice all the time. They're back here finishing their degrees too. It's really cool to see Quincy because I knew him when he was 16 years old. He's kind of taking Cormani under his wing because I think he sees the talent he has, and it's kind of just like, hey man, let's just show you how to watch film and how to use that when you're on the field. And the coaching staff's hard on him because he has so much talent. Like he got beat on a play and he runs pass breakup because he's fast. And the coach telling him like, hey man, you don't have to use all that speed if we're fundamentally sound at the line. And kind of just like coaching him that way. So it's been cool to see Quincy and Tease. Bro, Tease is just a football guy. He is jumping up and down on the sideline during 7-on-7. And I looked at him, I'm like, bro, you just love football. That's it. Point blank.
Hey, Cleve, who your favorite Gator all time?
Who he put me on? He put me on the spot.
Whoa, he put you in the hot seat.
He put me on the spot. Man, all time.
I'm interested to know myself. I gotta have this one.
I don't know if we ever asked Jordan either.
All time. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I gotta go with Tebow. I gotta go with Tebow.
You think Chauncey would say Chauncey? If we asked Chauncey who his favorite Gator was, would he say me?
He gonna say him. It's kind of toss. I love watching Tim too, but I'm a big fan. Like, hats off to Person Harvin. Like, Person Harvin was a dog. Like just watching him, like, bro, he was a dog. He was a different beast. Like, electric, explosive. Man, he was all.
Dog, they ran counters with him at running back.
Man, he was different. He was different.
Yeah.
And then we asked this. Corey usually asks it, but he's been slipping on his asking game.
I'm non-violent these days, man. That's all.
Who had the best? Yeah, he became vegan. He doesn't want to ask these questions anymore. Who had the best hands on the team?
The best hands?
Yes. Not talking.
We're talking about catching passes.
We're not talking about catching passes. Who had the best hands in the locker room?
He talking about niggas paying.
You talking about the best, like just playing around with hands?
Yeah. And people don't box the never fall. People don't slap box all type of stuff.
Man.
Oh, y'all had the boxing gloves. Y'all just beef and throw the boxing gloves in the middle of the locker room.
Somebody who had nice hand was Iverson.
Yeah, okay. See,
Iverson had some nice hands.
Iverson come in and beat up, man.
That boy beat Trady that black and blue.
Hey,
Trady took some lumps, bro. I think Zach Carter put some paws on him too.
I think
that
so.
man,
went viral.
Iverson put his hand on Brett Haggett, offensive lineman. I knew he was different.
Word.
Boy,
I said
New Jersey built different.
That Jersey boy, that little Jersey Haitian boy, you got to watch out for him.
Now you beat up trench guys as a skill position dude. You getting busy, bro.
That's a good one though, Cleve. I like that. Iverson definitely faded. But
I heard a lot of
my fault. I'm gonna just
go ahead,
a little bit. I ain't want to take too much of your time, brother, but just let the people know, man, what is T.G.B about? How'd you get into making your own brand and having Mondays and shit? I mean, when I first saw that, bro, I fell in love with it. I'm like, man, he really out here doing it and inspiring people. You got to realize how many people watching you, how many younger kids want to be like you. So just let the people know what your brand all about, what you got going on.
Yeah, man. T.G.B just came for, it was crazy because I was in Cracker Barrel. I was in Cracker Barrel. And it's crazy story. I seen it said it just had T.G.B, and I'm like, hey, T.G.B. And I was just I went home, I was just thinking about like, dang, what made me just look at that for that long and just look at T.G.B, and I was like, man, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm blessed. And that's just how I said it. Like, I'm thankful, grateful, blessed. And then once I said it, I'm like, bro, that kind of like my whole thing. Like, I'm always thankful, I'm grateful for the things I got, the things that I have, and I'm blessed. So I like, man, I'm finna make this a movement. You feel what I'm saying? But a little story on it. It just showed people, like, just give people a reminder, like, no matter what you're going on, no matter what's going on, no matter like what life may throw at you and stuff like that, you got to always pause and just think about how thankful you are, how grateful you are, and how blessed you are. And I feel as though some people, like, kind of get sidetracked and on, like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, but you got life, you breathing. So like, I just try to motivate the people just to keep pushing, man. Life be hard, and you always need somebody just to have that, that give you that little spark, that little energy, just to keep you going, because you never know what people may be going through. And man, the brand, I think it's gonna be big real soon, and I'm just gonna keep there trying to motivate people, just keep trying to uplift people and things in that matter. As far as the motivation Monday videos, I was posting them. I kind of got to get back to it. I've been dealing with like a lot of stuff, like trying to figure out this and that and stuff like that. But as far as for like the brand, man, it's definitely a nice brand. I can't wait to like expand it and keep it going. I'm gonna drop some clothing line with that brand as well. So dropping like some wristbands. I'm about, I got to bring the primary color is red, but I got to bring the Florida Gator colors in there. I got to bring that. So once I drop that merch, it's definitely gonna be Florida Gator colors in there. And I just want to let people know, man, just you got to be thankful, you got to be grateful, and you got to remember, like, you blessed. You here on earth, and where every day you wake up, you blessed. So
gratitude.
That's kind of my my brand right there.
Yeah, I like
dope.
That's awesome, man. It's awesome. Man, well, we appreciate you. Where can everybody follow you on social media?
Man, I'm on Instagram, Tyrie TYRIE1. I'm on Snapchat. That's why I be at the most, like Snapchat is TYRIE89. And where else I be at? Yeah, that's about it. I don't really be on no other social media. I don't got my Twitter. I'm trying to get my Twitter back. I don't got it. I ain't had my Twitter for like 3 years.
Is the YouTube T.G.B or is it Tyrie?
Oh, the YouTube Cleve that dude. CLEVEDATDUDE.
Y'all go subscribe, man. Y'all go show Tyrie some love, man. Y'all go subscribe to the channel for sure. What is it again? Say it one more time. I'm about to go find it.
The YouTube?
Yeah, my bad, bro.
It's Cleve that dude. Cleve that dude.
Cleve that dude. Got you.
Yep.
Just throw it here on the
Nigga, Dan, I just want to, I want to get my hats off to y'all too, man. We ain't really talk as much. I feel as though, but I want to say, man, the stuff y'all doing, man, is I respect it. And as far as like y'all just controlling it all over the years, man, it's great because I know y'all a diehard Gator fan. I know y'all love the Gators. Everything about the Gators, man. I just want to give y'all my flowers and salute to y'all for sure.
Respect.
Appreciate that, man. I'll never forget your touchdown. Obviously, it was against Tennessee, but it was the day I moved into a new house and went to Four Rivers, and I audibly cheered. It was completely full, and I stood up and gave a "Let's go." My parents were there. My now ex-wife, shout out to her, was there. There's about 75 other people that are like, what is this lunatic on right now? But no, so I'll always remember that, man. I appreciate you for, somebody that's been going through some things recently. It's good to remember that we should be thankful, that we should have gratitude, and that we are blessed, man. And I appreciate anybody that's putting good energy out there. And man, we wish you the best of luck with everything. Congratulations on going back and finishing your degree, and whatever we can do to help you grow and get your brain out there. We're here for you and look forward to seeing you in the fall up in Gainesville.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate
one last thing. Like, here's my story too. Like the same game, right? So I'm at my crib. And I had two of my boys, they Florida State fans, and they was hanging. They be on Twitter a lot, posting Grimes. So the whole game, they giving me a hard time about how trash Felipe is. And, we about to go in overtime because I think Tennessee ended up coming back. We was up in that game. So I'm just like, man, what just happened? And they just chirping in my ear in the living room. And I'm thinking overtime as well. Man, he heaved that ball, you caught it. They couldn't get out of my house fast enough. They could not get out of my house fast enough. Bro, I was in here lit. I was in here lit, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you pulling up, man. It's been a good show, good episode,
absolutely,
good conversation.
Man, thank y'all for having me. Appreciate that, Jordan, too, man. Reaching out to me, bring me on the show, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Dan. Appreciate you, Nick. Appreciate you, Corey. I like that hat, Corey, too. I ain't gonna lie. I
got you, man. Hey, hit me.
I like that hat.
Link me up, man. We'll send you some merch out, bro. I'll get you one of these hats as well, man.
For sure, man. Thank y'all for having me, man. It's
absolutely,
nice to talk to y'all, man. God bless y'all, man. Keep doing y'all thing. You feel what I'm saying? Jordan, we got to link up, man. I ain't seen you in a while.
We're going to push up on you. Hell yeah, man. We going to link up.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
Tyrie, we appreciate you, brother.
All love, my guy.
Those two plays, you brought up the Antonio Callaway one, Jordan.
Yeah.
The only quiet place, especially the Callaway one, because Florida was losing the whole game, and then all of a sudden you come back. The only quiet place is the press box, because you just went Control-Alt-Delete on the story you had written. And all the newspaper, I've never worked for a newspaper, but the newspaper guys have deadline. And newspaper deadlines are like right at the end of the game. So it was like Tennessee breaks the streak and this and that. And you're doing all this research during the game to like fill the story out. Train right in jail, Big Ben in happens. He goes. Brandon Powell breaks it with the block. And it's just like Control-Alt-Delete. And then it's just like,
what?
I got it right. And then the same thing with Cleve almost. But it was like you didn't have to change everything. But that play happens. You're kind of like, how do I write? How do I put into words 90,000 people going crazy? Brandon Powell giving CTE slaps. Poor Cleve is under a pile of 80 people. But yeah, it's interesting being in the press box for big moments like that, because it's probably the only quiet place. Is you've got 50, 60 people trying to figure out how to tell everyone what is happening. Written lines.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed the Cleve one because my behind being stupid, but the Callaway one was amazing to witness in person and just do it. Like, wow,
I was there.
Well, like just watching the whole stadium roar, dog, and like you really can't even.
You saw me. You definitely saw me. I was roaring.
Corey was there. He was on ESPN. Corey was definitely there.
No, that was the Auburn game.
Oh, that was the Auburn game. My bad.
The Tennessee game, I was in Lower East. Shout out to my guy Dustin. I forgot who else I was sitting with, but man, that was a frustrating game as well. Them Tennessee games be frustrating, but it was worth it, man. My cousin who I brought with me, he left and went to the car. That's how frustrated he was. Like, man, put put Traylon Harris in the game. I was like, no, bro. No. And then when we got Traylon later that year, he was like, man, get him out the game too. I was
Right.
like,
You don't want that boy in there.
I was like, come on, bro.
That was the era of it can't get worse. And I was like constantly telling people, like, hey, man, things can get worse.
Hey,
like,
at the FAU game,
things can't get worse. I'm like, listen.
At the FAU game that year, right? I'm at the FAU games towards the end. I think almost the last game, right before Florida State. And my wife wasn't really following the season. She's remembered early in the season when Greer was just killing it. So she gets there and we couldn't hit a pass. We can't hit the broadside of a ball. And she said, what happened to the white quarterback? I'm frustrated, so I don't have time to.
He was drunk.
Yeah, I have time to explain this, man. I thought you heard me ranting through the house when he got suspended, man. I thought you knew what was going on, babe. But no, the white quarterback's gone. We got to deal with this frisbee thrower.
Man, the amount of lies I was telling after, because I was at the game against Ole Miss with Will Greer. I mean, we just. It was egregious. And then I was coming back from a client meeting. I'll never forget, I was on the Howard Franklin going east back to Tampa. And I get an alert or, looking on Twitter, so you stop traffic. And then looked on Twitter, and it's like Will Greer suspended. I'm like, you just throw your hands up. Because at that point, it's like, what else could happen, right? Like performance enhancing drugs from GNC. But man.
You said frisbee thrower. You used to call somebody a rock skipper. And every time I saw it, I was like, Mike, this is the highest level of disrespect. I think it was after he
was a joke.
He bounced like a swing pass.
It was a joke.
Out here skipping rocks.
So I was tweeting at the end of the season. We were just talking about possible people that's moving on, transferring, whatever. And somebody said, they put in my comments, it was like, Trayon is probably going to the NFL. And I responded, is that the Negro Frisbee League? So they went like almost viral, man. I think I had to delete that, bro. I was trying to get him on the show, so I had to get it out of there. But
I think that was a tweet and delete situation.
League.
All right.
Where was he going?
Oh man! All right, well, let's get on to the show. There's a lot to talk about with the spring game. Before we do that, go visit our friends at Home Field Apparel. Use promo code Stadium and Gale at checkout. You'll get 15% off of your order. They got a lot of stuff for the national championship. Obviously, as you can imagine, one of their best-selling shirts actually is the Gators national championship shirt. So really cool, unique design. Obviously, that retro style that they are known for. Go visit homefieldapparel.com. They got the baseball pullover thing. They've got the starter jackets. They've got a lot of stuff that they're consistently putting out there for Florida Gator fans. So if you haven't been on the website in a while, go check it out. Homefieldapparel.com. Promo code Stadium and Gale at checkout. One time per email address. Not telling you to create others, but just letting you know if you run into an issue, hop on a Gmail, create yourself another one. All right, let's get into the spring game. Before we do that, I want to give a couple thank yous. Anthony Beck said Nick had to be Hollywood and show up late. He's got a young daughter. I would imagine that's what was going on there. But appreciate you, as always, Anthony, for supporting the show. And then Gator Tim here. Said it was awesome to meet Nick at the Florida Victorious tent and Corey at the High Top tailgate. So tell us a little bit about the spring before we get into the spring game, just about the tailgating. Obviously, a ton of people, 56,000 people, or at least they needed to get the number. So 65 to 63 in that final number. But definitely a pretty good crowd in Gainesville this weekend. Talk to us a little bit about the tailgates and everything leading up to the spring game.
Buddy, I believe the attendance was picked shortly after the game finished.
Yeah, well, you just got to say what the official number is, Nick. I'm not going to call the UFAA or the UAA liars if you want to.
Yeah.
I just want to stay in their good graces,
Very interesting that shout out to Gator Nation for making sure we didn't have one extra person or one person not make it into the gates so that there would be 56,563. 65-63.
That's what the gates were, You got to trust
dude,
the numbers,
everybody we get. It's so crazy. I've always said this. I write so much. It takes so much more effort to write because we're all friends here. It just feels like we just turn on the cameras and we're just chopping it up for an hour, 2 hours, however long it is. This is easy. Nobody Very rarely, not nobody. Nobody, very rarely someone comes up to me, hey, man, I love the stuff you write. It's always, hey, man, love the pod. Where's Corey? Where's Dan? Where's Jordan? I'm like, bro, I don't know, but I need to stop writing. I just need to keep talking.
Want to give 2 special shout outs before you do that. Non-political comments here. Marco Rubio is a fan of the show, so thank you for listening. And got confirmation that Billy Horschel is also listening to the show pretty often. So shout out to Billy Ho. A lot of Go Gators from him at the Masters, and outside of a Masters branded piece of apparel, Florida Gator stuff everywhere, all over that stinky state of Georgia. You maybe saw 2 or 3 Georgia polos. I'm not lying when I say this. I probably said Go Gators to somebody 75 times.
Nice.
I got to Go Gators back from Billy. Had the unbelievable.
Was he wearing black or blue?
Billy Horschel.
Billy Horschel, the golfer.
Horschel.
I had the chance to go to Augusta. We got the call Wednesday at 3:30, 4 o'clock. They're like, hey, do you want to go to Augusta? I was like, yeah. And my boss was like, don't you have football practice tomorrow? I go, not anymore, bro. No shot. Football. You didn't hear? The football canceled. The football is canceled.
I have your hat, by the way.
Thank you.
Hopefully you didn't buy another one. And if you did, I'll just keep it because I bought one that I would wear.
Ooh, I like that. You bought one you would wear. No, I was told, listen, I don't know. The wife's
all right. Tell us about the Florida Victorious tailgate.
Anyway, yeah. Gotta go Gators from Billy Ho. The Florida Victorious tailgate. Crazy. So we had to plan this. Shout out to Bree Wade. She planned this. She planned a dinner at Billy Napier's house. She also planned 2 events in Raleigh, 2 events in San Francisco, and 2 events in San Antonio. But you have to plan this in advance. Like, we needed a bigger tent. Once we didn't even tell people because we knew what the reaction would be, that we were going to have the basketball team coming to our tailgate. So we had to call UFPD. Shout out to Lisa Ben Chaim. She made sure to get extra security because we had to get golf carts to take the guys.
Just call me if you need security.
You can't really hide. Yeah. So we were able to like sneak the gymnasts in. The gymnasts, shout out to them. They're going to compete for a national championship. I think they leave tomorrow.
Yeah, this week in Fort Worth.
You're able to sneak those girls in. 5 foot to 5'4". You're not sneaking Micah and Olivier and Will Richard, Walter Clayton. You're not sneaking those guys in, but Corey saw where our tent was, and we were right next to like the photo op with the national championship trophy. When the golf carts came up, you had to be a Florida Victorious member. You had to have a wristband to be in the tent. The people just came crashing down on the tent, and it was hectic. But appreciate the guys for showing up. They've been all over the place. Walt, Will, and Elijah are going to be off. I think they're already out of Gainesville. Going to be getting ready to train and do the NBA draft, stuff like that. But an awesome event. It was great to see people there. And that's just kind of some of the perks you get from being a member. Saw Corey there. Had some wristbands for you. Corey just not hit me back.
Nah, man. Our phone died in the stadium. So once the phone died, I had text. I was like, man, phone probably gonna die, so we might not be able to meet up. But yeah, phone died. Went back to the car to go charge up to head back into the stadium. And my son, allergies, he was dealing with. He wasn't feeling the best, so we just like, let's just call it a day. Ended up just hiking it. So the tailgate scene was fire. Yeah. The vibes, like I've been to a lot of tailgates, and you a lot of times you're just going in, trying to be optimistic, but curious what you're about to see. It just felt like everybody's in that same mindset, like this could be a big season, especially after the basketball vibes and knowing what we got football wise. So shout out to everybody that I've seen out there. Tate Casey and the guys, everybody, all the former players that was at what was that, Johnny Townsend's charity tents. The guys, Murky Waters from the podcast, Bam and those dudes. Everybody that pulled up and said hello, man. Stopped me to say hello. Like I said earlier, to negotiate unblocks.
Yeah,
that's always a good time. No meet and greets.
No meet and greets. It must be a damn thing.
So you had like a Switzerland, you had like a Geneva convention. We're negotiating unblocks.
Yeah. One dude brought his boy. He was like, "Hey man, you got my boy blocked, man. Can you unblock him?" I was like, "Let's talk about it."
We're not saying yes off the bat. We need to go through the steps here. But it's cool.
Nobody
it's
ever
always
remembers
cool.
why they got blocked. They're like, I don't know why you blocked me, bro. Like,
Yeah, it must have been by accident. No.
Well, here's the screenshot. You were talking greasy. But it is always cool. Oh, real quick, Marco Rubio. He's down there. Obviously, his son's on the team. His son's a Florida Victorious athlete, so he's down the field after. And some guys like fumbling to get like his camera ready, like his phone ready to take a picture with Marco. And I just like saw it and like just as a person, not realizing, hey, he's in the cabinet now, and these guys with earpieces around me might not want me quickly walking up to the Secretary of State. So I took a couple steps.
Oh, no, you ain't no threat, bro.
At the corner,
you ain't no threat, bro.
Roll these sleeves up real quick. Could be a threat.
This friendly father over here.
Could be a threat.
Gray beard, gray hair.
Yeah. One of the guys takes like a couple steps, just doing his job. Like, hey, who is this coming towards the person I'm here protecting? And Marco goes, no, that's Nick Delatorre. And I was like, oh. So I take the picture, and then he told me, he was like, hey, I love the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your work. And I'm like, that's wild. Had no idea.
Man.
Not a politics show, but it's crazy because he's been around. His son, he was around last year, but just as a senator, you don't have Secret Service detail. When you make it to the cabinet, now you've got this whole other level of protection around you. But a lot of people coming up to him. I joked with one of the Secret Service member who came up on me. I joked, I was like, we should have gotten him a table. The way that people are coming up to him asking for pictures.
Yeah, I don't joke with Secret Service. I once did that one time on a background check I had to do for a friend. I was a roommate of his, and I made a joke about his last name and the nickname we called him. They didn't find it as funny as I did. So I've learned.
What was the nickname?
We'll talk about it after the show. I don't want to throw the guy my buddy. All right. So Gator Tim said was not expecting to meet the Gator boys. That was awesome. Florida Victorious not only done an amazing thing for the players NIL, but for the fan experience too. No, absolutely. Go check them out. FloridaVictorious.com to go support the team. They raised a bunch of money for the basketball team, still raising obviously a bunch of money for football. So go support Florida Victorious there. So again, 56,000 fans in attendance. Seemed like the weather was great, really turned out for everybody. Dallas Wilson stole the show, I think. 10 receptions, 195 yards, a couple of touchdowns to his name. Jacoby Jackson, 198 yards, scored 3 touchdowns. He had a 90-yard run. I think he tied, if I remember reading this correctly, Cedric Faison for the most touchdowns in an orange and blue game. Harrison Bailey, 363 yards. But overall, guys, talk to me a little bit about the game. Obviously, the game not televised. There's some people that put some clips out there. I think Zach Abelverde did the best that he could from where he was standing to watch the game. But for those of us that weren't in attendance, tell us a little bit about the game.
Yeah, there are a lot of people angry about it. So there's 2 teams that are televising it. I think Oklahoma is televising it. That's in-house. And when I say televising, they're streaming it. And Texas A&M's production team, their in-house production team, is going to stream theirs. There's just a lot of paranoia about tampering, and the portal opens Wednesday, and you're losing your depth, and you're not trying to show people, like Greg Smith hit the portal even before. I think we have one. I can't say that. Never mind. But the decision,
98% of the contracts are
98% of the
contract, right? So 2%, you guys can do the math.
Yeah. So the decision wasn't really Florida thumbing their nose, at fans. It's kind of a lot of the coaches, 14 of the 16 coaches in the SEC are like, hey man, we're living in a wild time. Some coaches just canceling the spring game, not even having one. So I understand the fan 100%. Understand the fans' frustration. It's not everyone is able to come leave their home and spend 2 days in Gainesville in the middle of April. Mm-hmm. I get it, and it's frustrating to not be able to see it. It was a fun environment. I think they play. I've seen some bad spring games. I've seen some because of injury. I've seen some bad spring games over the years.
We didn't even have to get a Chris Doering touchdown this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Didn't even have to
throw the ball to Lee McGriff.
Yeah, I was chilling with Kewan Ratliff. Ooh, real quick sidebar. It is so good to see Kewan Ratliff back in Gainesville in orange and blue. My guy spent 3 years in Tallahassee wearing black.
Oh, we won't forget the hostage video for
we
birthday.
Won't.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see him again.
And he said they were giving him crap all 3 years about the Gators. He kind of just had to sit there and be zen about it. Corey, he was probably had to take his shoes off and ground himself while the entire staff is trashing his Gators.
He cashed the checks. Checks cash, baby. I get it.
It's been great. It's been great to see him. He told me a cool story. He told Walter Clayton he was making a mistake and that he should focus on being a safety, and he would get him to Gainesville and he would get him a scholarship for football. And Walt told him, Coach, I'm a hooper. So he got back to him. Kiwa got back to Walt and goes, young man, sorry, I gave you bad advice back in the day. You knew what was best for you. But really great to see Kewan down there. Glad he wasn't catching passes or intercepting any passes as part of a script. It was really cool to see. So a lot of this narrative now I see online is like, bro, the defense stinks. These guys did this, and that. The defense kicked the offense ass all spring long. And you probably get into a game after Lane Kiffin trolls you last year when it's like 9-7, 10-7. Spring games are highly scripted. And the quarterbacks can't get touched. You're probably not calling blitzes. You're not playing press. You're not playing everything. You're like, listen, we've got people here, 56,000 plus here. Let's give them a little bit of a show. But if you're only seeing the stats and you didn't see the game, I mean, even if you were there in attendance, you're probably like worried about the defense. I'll just tell you, the defense kicked the offense ass most of spring. The defense, I have no worries, no qualms, no questions about the defense based on what I've seen.
You should have worries about the offense, not the defense. I do want to give a special.
Let me know when we're going to talk about Aiden Warner spinning it.
We're going to talk about Aiden Warner spinning it very briefly. Before we do that, I want to thank you to a longtime listener who contributed to the show in the past, $100 dono here. I love the show, guys.
Man. Ain't that to a boss?
Nick, you seem to have a little bit more access to Coach Nape. Can you let him know that he's got Gator fans out here betting when he's going to be getting his haircut lined up? Let him know. Write it down, Nick. You owe our guy a special note to yourself.
Got you.
Report back next week.
I will report back next week. I will. I think I'm back in the building tomorrow and Wednesday, so I will.
That boy dropped the hundo, man. We gotta be your favorite podcast.
Your favorite podcast.
Already. No, I thought I enjoyed the game, man. I thought the offense. Just speaking of the offense, love the receivers. I think the receiver, the run game as well, but the young boys, I see why they didn't get aggressive in the transfer portal. We only brought in J. Michael Sturdivant, who's living up to expectations so far. He looked good. He's a guy that's gonna contribute big this fall. I expect him to fill in with Chim DK and Badger, kind of left off with the transfers. I think he's gonna come in and fill that role in and do his thing. But these young boys, Dallas Wilson, Pernell Brown, even Hawkins. Let's not forget about Mazzell. All those guys played well. A lot of weapons. We had the backup quarterbacks, Harrison Bailey and Aiden Warner, delivering the ball. So I thought there was more deep balls that we left out there. There was a couple of times when Mazzell was streaking down the field wide open. And I was like, man, let that fly. And Harrison Bailey seems to be more of a check down guy. A lot of what Graham Mertz is what I see in Harrison Bailey. But we got some just straight up ballers at the wide receiver position. Jacoby Jackson he different. I said this before on the previous show that I don't know if the staff really see like the fans see it, like Jaden's ball clear cut, the best running back on this team. I don't know if they see it like that. He may have the overall best skills and be, fit for the pro game, just talent. But you just talking about pure running back, Jacoby Jackson could play some running back, bro. He had some explosive runs. He went crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in a couple of weeks. I actually got the chance to talk to one of our listeners, and he's a data analyst, and he's done a lot of research about the Gators running back room. And I would be remiss to say if he doesn't think that Jacoby Jackson is not only the Gators' best running back, but statistically one of the better running backs in college football going into next season. So we can share a little bit about that stat stuff in a few weeks when we kind of do our position breakdowns. Want to just tie the knot here on wide receiver. Who do you guys think is going into the season starting? Do you think that there's a chance that Dallas Wilson starts based on what you guys have seen? Obviously, I think J. Mike is probably a guy that's got that spot locked down. Aiden Myzel. I don't know why I did a little country twang there. Sounded like the lady from
Brian Kelly over there.
This guy goes to Augusta for 24 hours, and all of a sudden, J. Michael Sturdivant, Aiden Myzel, obviously Tank Hawkins. You got the young guys coming in. What do you guys think? And obviously, you're going to have 3 starters, but you're going to have more guys play. But what do you guys think that looks like going into the summer?
I think
for me, go ahead, Corey, because I want your opinion. Then Nick, you've obviously watched more with your eyeballs in practice.
Yeah, it's more of a snap count for me, right? I think like just watching the way Billy have done it, like who comes out and starts one thing. But I think Dallas Wilson is gonna get starter numbers as far as like snaps and reps and targets as well. I think he's gonna get started. He's just a special talent. You just can see it, bro. Like that physically. He looks like a senior. Don't do the comparison to Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith is a different species. You feel me? But this is a kid that's going to contribute right away. And I said this already, but I can see why they didn't get aggressive in the transfer portal, because this kid's probably better than a lot of the kids that y'all wanted out of the transfer portal. And he's going to be a true freshman that you get for another 3 years after this one, right? 2 years. I wouldn't say 3. Another 2 years after this. So I'm not gonna get caught up in who starts, because they may go with a guy like Khalil Jackson. Who knows? But when it comes down to at the end of the season, when we tally up the snaps, I think he's gonna have a starter snap count.
Okay. Nick?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be K-Jack's coming back. It's been cool to see him come back, and he's running a little bit even without his brace after his ACL surgery. But I think 11, 9, and 3, Myzel, Sturdivant, Trey Wilson. But it's the same thing Corey said. It's like those guys might be taking the first snap, but who's taking the bulk of the snaps?
Yeah, I think that's probably more my question is like who you guys think the top 3 are, not necessarily who Billy trots out on week 1, because I know Khalil Jackson's in that list. No shade at him.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And Jordan will tell you that depends on what you're doing in practice week to week.
Yeah, that's all about training camp too. I was about to say, really, it's hard for me to kind of pick who I believe is going to be the starter. Like out of those guys, obviously, certain of those guys already got their spot locked in. But I look at it like, who is Lagway going to pick as his next guy that he can kind of build a trust with and kind of get that connection with through training camp? Because obviously he hasn't been throwing in spring and stuff like that. So once he gets that down in training camp and can find ways that he likes the way dudes run his route or whatever, he can find good timing with them, or maybe they get some work in like after practice or something, maybe that'd be his guy. So I think that's really what it'll more be based upon, more than like, oh, this guy is better than that guy. Because really all of them talented. All of them are, not saying a coin flip, but really everybody got their own skill set that we can bring to the game. We already got enough receivers that has solidified starters. So I'm interested to see who that guy's going to be, though. I can't put my finger on it just yet.
From an energy standpoint, like the way that kid is mad after every catch. Like he's mad that somebody attempted to cover him. He's just pissed off.
You talking about Dallas Wilson?
Yeah, Dallas Wilson, bro. Like that dog energy, and it's a lot of that on the team. It ain't just him, but he exuded that on Saturday, bro. Like he wants to be the man. Like he's coming in to make big plays. He's not coming here to lose, and you just can feel that. It's one thing to be talented and to have skills, but when you fuel that with some passion and some want to, on that kid, a couple months on campus, he's already chiseling out. By fall, you're gonna have Dez Bryant, coming out of that tunnel, bro, like straight up. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Corey's like, hey, don't call him Jeremiah Smith because he's clearly Julio Jones and Des Bryant. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Body
type,
but
not
Jordan,
expectations on the season.
Yeah, Jordan said it. He said the first time he saw him in person, he was like, God dang, who is this grown man?
I just wasn't expecting him to be that big. I'm like, you said you just came from high school?
He looks like
2 weeks ago.
Physically looks like a 5-star linebacker.
Yes,
and then he moves like a 5-star receiver. Shame on the Star Services.
No, I mean a 5-star guy doing 5-star things, right? I mean, I think that's what Gator fans wanted and Gator fans saw, and I think it will. There's no reason for me to believe that it won't translate. Just to keep the show going on, running back, obviously Jaden Baugh and Jacoby Jackson are your two leaders going into that group. You've got Kanan Daniels there. You've got Trey Webb there. You got Duke Clark. You've got a number of these other guys. I know Duke Clark got quite a bit of burn in this game. I'm excited, man. I think we've all talked about how deep the Gators running back room is, and I'd be curious to see if there's any attrition there. It seems pretty packed there, but going into the season with a Jaden Baugh, Jacoby Jackson led group with Kanan Daniels that might be able to break one off like he did against Tulane in that bowl game. I mean, it's just hard to think that the Gators can't have one of the best running back groups in college football next season.
Yeah. I don't think anybody leaves. I was watching. You see what Webb do? Webb put out a tweet today asking for a graphic, and everybody went crazy. He's like, "Everybody, chill out."
It's like I'm not leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't foresee anybody leaving that room. I wish Kaden Daniels was healthy. I wanted to see him this spring. That was a guy I was looking forward to see get busy. He wasn't healthy, so he didn't get any burn.
Yeah.
But the freshman Clark he fit the bill. These guys evaluate running back very well. So yeah, he fits the bill. It's gonna be good.
He's got some wiggle to him. Watching him during like team runs and stuff, he gets skinny, and all of a sudden there's not much of a hole. Gets skinny, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, he got past that massive bodies with Shivers weighing 400 pounds and Jake Slaughter. Like, how did he squeeze through there? He's gonna be good. They love KD. KD might be like one of the most physically gifted, just God-given ability, tools, might be one of the most physically gifted guys in that running back room. And it's a deep running back room. Running back, receiver, young talent.
Yeah.
Really, really
deep,
good. Not worried about either of those rooms. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Aiden Warner and Harrison Bailey spinning the rock?
But have you ever watched Inception? The last scene in Inception, when the top just spins, I didn't watch the credits. Aiden Warner must have gotten a credit in Inception.
Don't hype it, brother.
Must have gotten a credit.
Them boys know they ain't getting hit, bro.
Talk about it, Joy. They know ain't no blood being shed out.
You can throw that ball up with a lot of confidence when you know nobody can touch you. But all in all, they did their thing. I can't take the credit away from them because a lot of people can know they're not going to get hit and still can't complete a pass.
You still got to be accurate. Still got to find an open guy.
Still a lot that goes into it, but I'm not sold all the way.
So obviously I didn't watch the game. Did Harrison Bailey? I know there's a lot of cause for concern, maybe from some of the reporting by Nick Delatorre from Florida Victorious about maybe Harrison Bailey or about the second quarterback up, with the DJ Lagway. And I don't know if you guys want to touch on the DJ Lagway situation at all. Did he quash any of your potential concerns, Nicholas?
I mean, DJ's QB1, Aiden Warner's QB2.
That's how
Aiden Warner's QB2, and Harrison Bailey's QB3.
Okay.
If you get down to your third quarterback, any team, the expectations for your season, your win-loss, and where your team is going,
we get to 2
are going to change.
Warner, we in trouble.
Yeah, he skipped Aiden Warner and went right to 3.
We're spinning,
right?
If we get to 2, we're spinning.
Yeah. Nick's like national championship with DJ Lagway, deep college football with Aiden Warner. After that, all the wheels are off.
Yeah, Harrison. I think it's good to have Harrison around. He's a fifth year.
I thought he was a sixth year. No,
fifth, maybe
he's
sixth.
definitely at least fifth. Yeah.
He has no eligibility left. This
Yeah,
is
he was
last
being
year.
recruited by Jim McElwain, if that gives you guys any idea.
At Colorado State.
No, yeah, definitely when he was at Florida, everybody was so upset when he went to Tennessee. Now he's here, and everybody's like,
yeah,
fans change. They're a fickle group, our fans.
That's how recruiting works. Clay Millen's still on the roster. Paul Kessler's still on the roster. Paul and Clay dealt with injuries, so there was a lot of reps, a ton of reps. Trammell.
I was just going to ask if he played.
Trammell was still on the other side, on the other field where they had Jordan his freshman year for a part of his freshman year, and then he got that call up, got that AAA call up. So my overall takeaway is get too healthy, keep too healthy. I think Aiden Warner last year got thrown into a situation where he shows up, he has an ACL injury, he's the fourth string quarterback. He comes back, you're not getting any reps as the fourth string in fall camp. You're just not. Yeah. When he gets thrown in against Georgia and then gets thrown in against Texas, he maybe knows a handful of plays. And those aren't the two teams you want to make your college debut against. So he's not what you've seen. Obviously, he's not DJ Lagway either.
No.
The spinning it has taken on an absolute life of its own.
Well, you said it.
He has a strong arm. He has a strong arm. I think he's more comfortable now within the playbook. They got a ton of reps with DJ not. And I told people, hey, DJ's not playing. And then DJ comes in, he hands the ball off a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, I could do what they asked DJ to do. I could exist in those 4 steps.
Jordan, you think Nick could take the handoff and
Jordan? I can take a handoff. I can exist from the snap. I can exist from the
Understand? Plead your case. I just asked if Jordan thought you're athletic enough to catch the snap, get the handoff right, make sure we're doing some convincing there.
Yeah, I might trip somebody up.
Once. Yeah, you got to make sure you open in the right way. It ain't just easy handoff. You might get your toes.
Whoa, calm down.
Yeah, the hips don't open the same way anymore. Once you hit 30, 35, 36, the hip mobility.
You got to get into yoga, Nick.
No, thank you.
I'm doing my first yoga retreat in October. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to Columbia.
Okay. Yoga retreat.
Nick.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of yogi going on.
There's so many.
It's my parents.
Nick, anyway, all right. So that's where we're on the offensive side of the ball.
Wild place to go do yoga, man.
Yeah. Anything you want to touch on the offensive line or tight end before we go to defense?
Offensive line, I think you're gonna be fine there. I think Bryce Lovett's kind of solidifying that right tackle spot. I think Rod Kearney will keep pushing to get right guard to get snaps. But they've liked what Damian George has looked like there. I think moving him from tackle to guard has been a great decision.
It's been a career saver. Yeah.
Certainly has added years to his career.
I heard some people say the backups look good. Like the back of the other team O-line looked pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just like Fletcher Westfall's gonna be your backup left tackle, but he's his only snaps have come in the bowl game when they're smoking Tulane. So that's a position I think and I feel. I know people always like to throw out, Jordan Seaton did this and Laramie Tunsil did this. It's all right, cool. There's a handful of guys who are ready to come and play right away as freshmen. Overall, it takes a lot of development to be ready to play on the offensive line. The further away you get from the ball, the easier it is to play early.
Everybody remembers the exceptions, and not that there's other 3 or 4 or 5 stars in that class that won't play for 2 years, or 27 4-stars that won't play until their third year. Yeah, and I get it.
So I've seen Tyreek Sapp, George Gums, treating a lot of these guys like food during offensive and defensive line. And you're going to have to learn, if you're Fletcher Westfall, if you're Bryce Lovett, if you're Caden Jones, that hey, these are grown men. Some of them already have kids and are trying to provide for their families.
They hit you a little bit
college.
different.
Yes, you're going to be hit a little bit different when the guy hitting you has to go and buy diapers on the way home.
Right. The boy changed his diet. He frustrated. He was with that baby all
That's why I don't think you could hand the ball off, Nick. You know, imagine George Gums is sitting there ready to go after you.
I have to buy diapers, Dan. Yeah. I know. I'm that guy. I'm changing blowouts. I'm taking aggression out during my 3 steps to a handoff.
This elevated quickly, huh, Corey?
Yeah, he got out of hand. Calm down, big fella. I do think like receiver room, like it comes to a point where you can't make a lot of mistakes to keep your spot just because competition is stiff. I thought Abrams dropped 2 that he gotta bring in. Didn't give a whole lot of love to Tank Hawkins. Tank Hawkins is gonna be one of them guys. I think special teams in. I like the way he looked at kickoff return. They didn't let the kickoff do what they do, but you can see the explosiveness from him. And then that one he scored a touchdown on, but he's just putting people in blenders. Like that was a perfect route, you know, the way he set it up. So yeah, I think Abrams got open. He just had 2 drops from Harrison that you just got to make, you know. And competition is what it is at this point. And if you want reps, you got to do it in these moments.
Yeah.
So.
And I can't lie, y'all already know Billy ain't playing if he ain't blocking. So that'll be another quick way to lose your spot right there.
Yeah.
That will be
I love kickoff, punt return. They've had a bunch of guys back there. J. Mike has been back there. Obviously, Jaden Ball's back there. I love all 3. Actually, they haven't really put Dallas back there. So I love the 2 freshmen.
Put Dallas there with. Let him kick.
I don't know.
He probably could kick the hell out of it.
Florida has a national champion punter, by the way, if you want to get into punting talk. Tommy Doman, championship at Michigan. Hey, 6, we need you to go kick. Tommy went down.
Yeah, why not?
I really like Nahshon and Vernell punt kick return. They've been on the other field. They've been on the JV field doing punt kick return. But Stadium Miguel alum DeBron Hampton, he's twitchy, and he looks really good with the ball in his hand. He's got crazy speed. I love the interview that we did with him, betting on himself, coming here with the Lagways. Got to meet his family who were with the Lagways as well at the spring game. He's been back there. And listen, that might be a spot where he can get in, depending on – I don't love Jaden Ball returning kicks. Like, sure, the room is deep, but, like, you've got some guys back there who can make people miss. Let Jaden get some Gatorade. No need for him to return a kick 30 yards and then get back in the huddle. Hey, stay on the field. Stay in the field. We're running power.
Not to change the subject, Nahshon Montgomery left the game with an injury. Apparently, it's a dislocated, was it thumb?
I don't know.
That was a word on the street. So I'm not sure if I'm breaking news here, but I think that's what we're told.
I've been on the sidewalk. I haven't been on the street.
Yeah. So if I'm breaking news, there you go. So apparently not anything that's going to keep him out for too long.
He was signing autographs with that hand after the game, so he was all right.
Okay. All right.
Y'all running a sweatshop, bro.
Yes. You got some obligation, Nahshon. My fingers hurt. You just pulled lawn duty, you know?
Your back's about to hurt because you pulled lawn duty.
All right, let's go defensive side of the ball. We got a Drake Stubbs interception, but talk to us a little bit about the defense.
Tip drill on that one, but like I love Drake Stubbs. Okay. Love Drake Stubbs. He has an old school safety mentality. He should have been playing football 20 years ago, and his highlight clip would have just been decapitating people on the field. Like he wants to hurt you.
The first high school recruit to come on Stadium Miguel, by the way.
Yeah. I've loved. It's funny. So he had like a little like hamstring issue. Oh, shout out. Love from Russ.
Shout out. Russ is giving Jordan Scarlett some love here.
That's one flower.
All right, sorry.
Stubbs. It was funny. I'm standing. Jordan will know. I'm standing in the middle of the fields for like 7-on-7, and Stubbs have been off in the pit doing stuff. He comes on the field. I'm like, oh, he's gonna like try to get in on 7-on-7 and then team run. And he's talking to one of the trainers. He turns around to one of the trainers. He goes, "Bro, let me just play. Why you got me in jail?" And he's like, "I'm just trying to keep you healthy." And I'm like, this is like practice 1 or 2. And I'm like, this guy he's just a football guy. He's like, screw my hamstring. Let me get in there. I'm trying to go hit somebody without pads on. Love his mentality.
Ty Jackson. Really sorry to interrupt.
Ty Jackson's a stud.
Yeah, no, Ty Jackson. I thought you were done with this.
5-6-1, baby.
Are you done with Stubbs?
I'm done about Stubbs. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ty Jackson. I just want to give players flowers as I find stats. Game high 11 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss. In that game, I'm trying to see if I see anything. You guys can continue to opine while I try to find stats that I can add into this conversation.
No, man, I thought all the linebackers did play well. Aaron Childs, Myles Graham, you could pick your favorite. You know, there's been debates about who's better out of the two, man. It's 1A, 1B. But Myles Graham got more reps last year, so we kind of know what he can do. It's gonna be a lot of improvement there. He's in the box coverage, you know, any way you want him to play, you know, not in the box, you know what I'm talking about, but run defense, he could cover well. But Aaron Childs is a man child. Like, you call him man Childs, like, just brand that and run with it. Our linebacker room is absolutely crazy. Ty Jackson looks the part. You know, he's putting his face in the blender. He could get sideline to sideline. You just watch the long runs. If you're not at the game, hearing about those long runs draw some concern, especially at the safety position. So we weren't 100%. You know, you have Bryce Thornton and some other guys out, and you don't want to see long runs like that. But you also are playing a spring game. You're gonna lose somewhere. Like, it's just how it goes.
Somebody's gonna lose,
right? Yeah, somebody's gonna lose, man. So not a whole lot of concerns, man. But from what I saw on the defensive side of the ball, it's a lot of young boys that can play. We know that some of these older guys could do. With Gums not, going full force, we got to see Jaden Woods. That dude's just an absolute animal, bro. The transfer that we had come in, what's his name? Kosi, what is his name?
Kofi.
Forgetting his name.
Sorry.
Kofi. Yeah, Kofi Asari, bro. He got 2 sacks, living in the backfield. Jalen Wiggins is another one that I like, another young boy, freshman out of the Panhandle. Living in the backfield. He's going to be a player as well. But you just got to see some of the young boys, man. There's a lot of talent flying around back there. I need Cromani to clean up some things as well, like his eye discipline. He gets a little greedy. You know, he's looking in the backfield. Mazzell put him in a blender on that touchdown that he ran. You know, great route, but there's some things that Cromani could clean up. But overall, I thought the defense in the trenches was stout, even with the players that we had out at defensive tackle. I know we're all looking at the defensive tackle position in the spring portal. Maybe we could bring a guy in to make us a little bit more stout. But I also like Shivers. I think Shivers is going to give us some good snaps in the fall. Big boy, big boy with the smoke.
Even as a freshman?
Yeah, as a freshman, I think he's going to play. Nice. I think 99 going to give us some reps, bro.
There's opportunity there at nose tackle
for sure.
him. Send me your NIL branding for Mount Shivers.
Shivers me timbers.
Okay, not Dan. Somebody else.
Let's group Come on, Shivers me timbers is pretty good right off the dome. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Let's group think this. Not right now.
It has legs. It has legs.
Yeah. It's a starting
short legs.
Starting point.
Not covering a lot of ground.
All great ideas start with a brainstorming section. And
hopefully Dan has sparked somebody listening to this to greater heights.
Yeah. But Shivers me timbers it is, you know?
Okay. There. Yep. That's a working title. Working.
That's fine.
Title.
Yeah.
Another freshman I really like is Laganza Hayward. Cool moment after. So every spring game, we have the guys sign autographs. They do meet and greets. They talk to fans, talk to our members. He asked, there was some kid who might have been 5 or 6.
The players doing meet and greets is crazy.
MEET, yes. Meet and greet. On the field, not where Dan likes to meet the fans.
That would be an odd place to have a meet and greet. We'd have we'd have UPD out there, GPD, you know.
Yeah, Secret Service is on the field, not a place.
I don't think the groundskeepers would love it, you know.
Back on track. Really cool moment of like this kid. Maybe I'm even though I have a child, I have no idea how to age kids. Maybe he's 8, small kid, young kid. Laganza signing stuff for him, and then Laganza says he grabs something and gives it to him. He goes, "Can I have your autograph?" And like the kid's face, like just seeing that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
That kind of stuff is really cool. But he's a player too. That's kind of an older area where he is. They've worked him at nickel and at safety. But if you ask Billy Napier, the guys from this freshman class, I think he says Ty Jackson, he says Dallas Wilson, and Laganza Hayward are the guys who have the chance to be the best from this signing class. Yeah, we're in number 2. I think that kid's going to be special. Turn on his high school film. He enjoys contact as well.
Yeah, you don't give number 2 to a guy that's probably not going to see the field. And Mason's comment said he's ending the show on that, Dan. Please don't leave because I'm too punny for you guys. You know what I mean? But
that 15, just speaking of numbers too, that 15 looked good on Woods.
Yeah.
How'd Woods do?
Can we stop putting, no disrespect to Graham, but can we stop putting quarterbacks in number 15?
No,
just let it go, bro. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, there's.
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna put them in a different number.
Well, you're not the coach.
Very true.
All you have to do is start as a GA somewhere and move your way up, and in 25 years, you can make that decision.
Buddy, I don't know if I have 25 years
especially
left.
with your extensive quarterbacking experience that you're going to gain.
I will show them the footstep, hand off. Got you. Got the footwork.
So let's look into the transfer portal. The transfer portal opens.
Ooh.
If you're listening right now,
Find Andy G.
Yeah, if you're listening right now, it's in 2 days. If you're listening to the show on the podcast form, it's going to be tomorrow on the 16th through, I believe, the 25th is the time period in which a player can enter. Gregory Smith, who a guy that we were excited about, it's a pretty stacked room. He put his name in the portal. Apparently, it's not necessarily a done deal that he's going to leave and there's a chance to come back. Florida probably needs some help in the defensive tackle room, I would imagine. Potentially another linebacker, maybe somebody with a little experience. Maybe at safety, I know there's been some discussions about trying to find somebody. After watching the spring game, Nick, obviously you go into all the practices. Where do you think the Gators might look to rebuild or add some additional pieces to this roster in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think defensive tackle depth, linebacker room solid. Depending on if you lose a safety or a defensive back, maybe one there. But Florida can be real picky. Maybe 2 positions, maybe 2-3 additions. Receiver room is stacked. If there's a tight end who's really, really good that wants to come to Florida, sure, add him to the room because Caleb Rios got banged up again. And then Tony Livingston, and you've got Tony Livingston, Amir Jackson, who was banged up off and on throughout the spring, banged up for most of the spring, actually, which is hurting his development. Didn't play a lot last year, or didn't play at all last year, and then didn't really get a chance to develop this spring because of the injury, which happened very first practice. So if there's a veteran tight end, maybe.
I just don't see Florida being a sexy landing spot for a tight end.
It's not.
Scrap it.
It's scrappy.
No 12 personnel. Like, I better not see with all these receivers I got and I saw on Saturday. I don't want to see no 2 tight end sets.
Wow.
Go 5 wide. Like let's spread this out and let Lagway just go stupid. We got a defense that's gonna stop some people. I don't want to see these tight ends that ain't even tight ending. Like, they're not even
a cheat check, you know.
It's just, bro. Like go 5. We got thirsty receivers on the sideline. Everybody want the ball. We can scratch the field. We can go underneath if we got to.
Minimum
we can check down.
On the field at a time. 3 to 4
got-
should be the norm. I wouldn't even be mad if we don't use no tight end unless it's like
George.
run
100
They gonna have to load the box.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to load the box. We got a good O-line. We got 2 really good running backs. Teams are gonna have to load the box.
Exactly. Let's play the numbers game. Let's spread them out and let's let our big guys do what they do. You feel me?
go.
Like, and we got dudes that can win one-on-one. Let's not make this harder than what it need to be.
Let's keep it plain Jane, baby. let's keep it plain Jane. It's very easy. You know what we need to do. Like the talent's there. You know, a lot of teams on our schedule. I know we're going fast forward a little bit, but I'm excited about this team, man. Looking at our schedule, seeing the quarterbacks that we're gonna face, and like most of the teams on our schedule about to get very busy in this spring portal. You know, and us as fans, we're talking about 1 or 2 pieces here and there that we would like to see added, but we don't have a whole lot of just glaring needs, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's the first time we've been in this position in a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Natty loading. That's right. Hopefully, some of you did that parlay that I told you about a couple months ago.
And Dan.
I didn't do it, but hopefully some other people. All right, guys, that's kind of the end of the show here. Do anything else you guys want to touch on before we head out of here?
Yeah, I gave my boy Ben Hanks his flowers for scrapping up. What's the name?
Yeah. Who's gonna let you do it, bro?
Yeah, give me your flowers.
Yeah, man. I see him with the little John Morant celly at the end. He threw the little grenade in the crowd. That was all fun and jokes, but yeah, I think he's a good dude to watch out for. A little Miami boy. I know he got some dog in him. So hopefully that's the start to him blossoming and becoming a part of DBU. Because obviously at that position we need some dudes to step up this year, whether it's at safety or corner. So me watching that play just made me see like, okay, he know he's going against a guy who is a 5-star guy, been balling all spring, and for him to rise to the opportunity, I feel like that's a good thing to see a young guy ready to step up to the plate and handle business. So just had to give him his flowers. You know, I got to take care of my down south boys.
All right. Hey, Nick, one question before we get out of here. So I didn't get which teams they were calling for, right? But I was told pregame that O'Hara and Russ Callaway was calling the offense for each team. Do you know which teams they were calling for?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. I was in Augusta when they announced when they announced the teams for Orange and Blue, but they split the whole organization up. So I'm scrolling through right now.
Even on the bus, I seen them get off the bus. I was like, yeah, they look like they really beefing.
Yeah, so Ryan was calling Ryan O'Hara, Chad Lucas. Yeah. So Ryan was on orange and
Callaway was on blue.
There's only 2 teams, Nick.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm
scrolling through all the names. So Russ Callaway was blue and Ryan was orange.
Who called a better game, Corey?
I thought Blue called a better game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's your new offense coordinator. So, all right, guys, let's get out of here. Before we do that, I forgot who has song of the week. So, Nick, we'll just say it's you. Before we do that, give a quick shout out to our friends over at Alumni Hall. We're going to do a giveaway of some national championship merch. I think tomorrow. There's a couple different things that we're going to give away on their behalf. So stay tuned to social media for that and your way to enter for some free merch from Alumni Hall. They gave us a bunch of special shout outs. It's funny. I was down in Mexico and it was like our President's Club trip. And I was talking to the CEO of my company. He actually knows the founder of Alumni Hall. He shot off a text to the founder and he messaged the marketing lady that we work with over there. And she said that the Gator fan base shows out more than any other fan base that they have outside of Knoxville where they were founded. So thank you to you guys for supporting them. Thanks for letting them know that Stadium and Gale sent you. We might be doing a merch code here soon. So stay tuned to that as well. I know you guys like that. So go visit alumnihall.com, get all of your Florida Gators national championship gear from them. Again, alumnihall.com or visit them on Archer Road in Gainesville. Nick, song of the week, brother. What do we got?
I've been listening to Noah Khan a lot.
Yes.
Very sad, depressing guy.
Not really.
Great.
Just
Deep.
But he's from
deep,
Vermont,
deep.
so it's a little,
Yeah.
I get it. I
got
get it.
that sadness to it. Yeah.
So a lot of writers.
Never met anybody cool from Vermont.
He's got a great
Ben and Jerry.
he's a great writer. Like I always said, like rappers have to put in more because how quickly they're going.
Yeah.
A 3-minute rap song has more words than a 3-minute rock song.
Or
Generally.
country music. Yeah, or folk.
Or
Yeah.
a country song. Noah Khan puts in a ton. So this song is called Orange Juice by Noah Khan, but really cool message. Packs a lot into like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, Noah Khan is great if you guys are into that kind of folk. Yeah,
if you're on campus and you see Xavier and Lee tomorrow, man, show that boy big love. We need that Princeton shooter, man. So if y'all see him, ladies, give him hugs. Fellas, no meet and greets, but dap that boy up and tell him, you know, Gainesville's where he need to be, bro. Let's keep this going. I think we can repeat, get back to the Final Four at the minimum.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys.
Guard in the mix there too.
All right, we'll talk about it after the show. Before we leave, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for giving a super chat. Thanks for everybody for liking, subscribing, and then those that are watching on X, thanks for sharing. Special thanks to Tyreek Cleveland. Go check him out. Go check his brand out. T.G.B. Go check him out on YouTube as well. Nick, I think you pulled up a question before the show's going to end.
Yeah, from Rob. Hey Nick, is FV making sure DJ isn't going to pull a Nico? We're good.
Yeah,
we're good. DJ's good.
Yeah, we saw DJ just a couple weeks ago. And
I support Nico in his efforts. I support everything Nico's doing. I'm a big fan of Nico.
Polynesian Felipe Franks.
I think you're going to end up at UNC, which makes sense for both parties.
No, UNC, I think, is pulling out. I think they found their guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still supporting Nico. As long as he leaves Tennessee, he got my support.
Yeah. Go get your bag. You deserve it, Nico. You know what I mean?
I'm sure Twitter will let me know, but I'm a leaving, I'm a leava. The puns will be quote tweeted for a while. From my
game day sign's about to go crazy. The game day signs about to go nuts.
Yeah. No, I love to see it. Couldn't happen to a better fan base. And they had to watch the Gators win the national championship on what they thought was their best basketball roster in years, and their quarterback leaves just days before their spring game. Their backup quarterback, who's now their starter, first play or first pass gets intercepted. I love it. Couldn't happen to a better group of people.
Yeah, I saw a Texas A&M fan tweet, I'm 30, and before I die, I'm going to see a football, baseball, and basketball championship. And I was like, my guy, I've seen 7 of those.
Everybody ain't able.
Hey, shout out to Tez. Everybody ain't able.
Everybody
we will see you guys next week on this platform here. We're going to enter the off season for football and basketball. We're going to try to get a lot more interviews for you guys. We'll talk a little bit more about the other sports. Go support Gators Gymnastics. They're playing or they're competing for national championship in Fort Worth this weekend. So go root them on. Other than that, we will see you at the same corner, same time next week. Thanks for everybody showing love, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.